Warhammer Age of Sigmar faction focus Sylvaneth. I'm going to take one more medicine. I'll be right back. Thanks for sticking around even though it's 100% black, no cam. But I can't wear a hat right now, and I can't look at light right now besides the screen. TY for sticking around. Only one more, and it's Sylvaneth. How exciting.
Metal Slug!
Yo. Are we back? Big trees, big fun. Yeah, potentially. No, there's no sarcasm. I don't hate Sylvaneth. I only hate playing against Sylvaneth. That's it. But everybody hates playing against Sylvaneth. And they have since the first day of first edition. That's fine. It's fine. Ahem. Separate Orc faction books coming in 3 years. Let's go. Separate Orc faction books coming 3 years ago. What a time to be alive. Does that bring Cruel Boys down? No. Well, actually, maybe. Does anyone remember... Was there a...
Good job, King.
Oh, Casual Karn, hey, thanks for the resub. I appreciate it for 9 months. TYVM. Good job, King. Does, Did they say if Big Wah is gone? Did they ever mention that? I think some intern somewhere typed something like that. Is Big Wah in the Orc War Clans faction pack? No, it's not. They are fully separate factions now. And that was a post from Warhammer Official on June 19th. It's now June 21. And so that was a lie. Kinda. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe. They said Big Wah is dead. Okay. Well, if Big Wah is dead, then Cruel Boys doesn't go down, I don't think. But it does... I'm down to... Maybe I'm at the top of B. So I went from bottom of A to top of B. It doesn't diminish too much with Cruel Boys, because they seem fun. But... Corn on top? Maybe. It's not really in too much of an order for the S tier hype. It's not in too much of an order. Sylvaneth, I'm very concerned about. Because they just told us that you have to, they told you how to place all the terrain on the table. So there's going to be a lot of terrain all over the place. More than normal. If they follow the event pack, right? And if you still have to put terrain all over the place, instead of just point at stuff and have it count as a wildwood, then Sylvaneth is potentially in for a real bad time this edition. And so I'm concerned about them. Guardians of Sanctity. Hey, they got some big dude. Look at, please, bro. These models. Next on the refresh or next on the chopping block? Which one is it? Just tell me. Just let me know. Alright, anyway, next up. Sylvaneth. Has you looked at corn already? Yes, I have. They are S tier exciting. Slaves, Corn, F, Fire Slayers, Stormcast, and maybe Allariel are in, like, just reading their abilities and how awesome everything sounds. S tier excitement. This is a hype level tier list, not a power tier list. I should very carefully point that out. Otherwise, Tzeentch would be at the top from just reading stuff in a vacuum. But it's a hype tier list, not a power level one, or seemingly power level. All right, Endless Growth. Once per turn army, end of any turn. Pick any number of friendly Sylvaneth units wholly within 6 of the friendly Awakened Wildwood to be the targets. Heal D3. Wholly within 6 is pretty close to an Awakened Wildwood, considering it's a ring. Allariel's base is huge. Damn, you have to get pretty close to them shits. Oh, they kept Strike and Fade. Surprising. End of any turn. Oh, it happens at the end of turn. Never mind. It's not Strike and Fade. It's called it, but it doesn't do that. It's end of turn. That's like saying Power Through is overwhelming charge. It very is not, right? It's just called a similar thing. Remove that unit from the battlefield. Set up again more than 9 from enemies, wholly within 6 of a different Awakened Wildwood. Okay. So you have to go specifically from a Wildwood to a Wildwood. Yeah, strike, wait 1 business day, and then a weekend, and it technically ships on Monday after that. And it's only between 2 exact Awakened Wildwood nodes. Big limiter. And then you get, oh, you also have Walk the Hidden Paths. Another, you just teleport, you only have teleports for your battle attack traits. You got a heal if you're near stuff, you have a teleport, and you have another teleport. Not in combat, 6 inches, and then from one to another, okay. This one is in combat, right? Yeah, that is in combat. So you have, your battle traits are some heal if you're close to a Wildwood, an out-of-combat teleport, and an in-combat teleport. And each of them can only be from one node to another different node, and then one node to a different node. Alright. Yeah, if you kill the target, you can't strike and fade, because you're not in combat. That is correct. I am not pleased with these battle traits. Don't like them. I know Wildwoods are your thing, but I think it's way too... Everything's a Wildwood, everything's wholly 6. 2 of them are basically the same, except one's in combat, one's out. Both of them are core, so you can't move close. You have to have already been there. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't know how Sylvaneth players feel about it. Yeah, I kind of hate this. Then again, personally, I don't like interacting with terrain. I don't think that's fun, which is why I was so butt mad over the Everwinter thing, because I don't like interacting with terrain as a player, like playstyle wise. I would rather interact with objectives rather than terrain, personally. So this is why I like the Slaves to Darkness thing, which targets objectives, and I don't like the Everwinter thing, which targets terrain. Anyway. Yeah, the army is very different. If you win the fight, you're kind of punished. But I guess if you lose the fight... Well, no, they still get to swing back, so you might die anyway. Yeah. This is like... maybe E tier battle trait. Almost F. But this is like a personal opinion of my hype, right? So my likes and dislikes are gonna affect that. Lords of the Clan. Healing Song. When using Endless Growth, friendly Sylvaneth monsters heal 3 instead of D3. What a shit ass subfaction. Oh, instead of D3, it's 3. Don't even roll. And only for monsters. Did the Ogre Battletome Rider do this one? Sylvaneth, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. This is heal every turn. Suppose this is end of any turn, right? And this is your movement phase. So these are happening at different times. Is this called endless growth? Yeah, okay. Like, bro, like, just roll the 3. Lore of the Deep Wood. Unlimited spell, Tree Song 6. Summons a Wildwood, right? If there are fewer than 3 Wildwoods, set one up. Wholly within 18 of the caster, and more than 3 from enemy units, objectives, and other terrain features. It might get kind of busy there, since we're doubling the amount of terrain they require on tables for tournaments and stuff. If there are already 3 friendly Awakened Wildwoods, then heal 3 to each Wildwood. Oh yeah, you can attack Wildwoods now, I forgot, right? You can probably attack them. Which I'm going to do, because playing with Wildwoods is the most annoying thing ever. Ahem. Show me the Awakened Wildwood War Scroll, I guess, because otherwise who knows. Wait, what do the other ones do? Because this shit sucks. But smaller forest spirits protect their habitats with bloodthirsty Vigor, while malevolent outcasts terrify their opponents. Finally, Allariel's elite cavalry swiftly run down their foes with mercy. Okay. Terrify, that's probably Spite Revenants. Smaller forest spirits protect their habitats with bloodthirsty vigor. I don't know what that is. This Winterleaf maybe, but only for small guys. Allariel's cavalry. Yeah, I don't know what these are supposed to do, if they did a similar thing to before. Hey, we get Allariel. Nice. Allariel is going to cost 200 less points than before, or the same, because she can't summon anymore. She probably just reanimates. So maybe she's finally going to be cost effective. 16 health, 3 up save, 14 flying move. That's something that didn't slow down. 6 up ward, triple whizzy. War Master. 12-inch spear with 1 attack, it'll miss. 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, 2-2. 6 attacks, 4s and 2s, 2-4. Alright, pretty good. She finally has a ward, though. We've been making fun of her for not having a ward forever, and she finally did get one. After all these years. Life Bloom. Pick one of the following effects. Add 1 to casting rolls, or heal 2d3 this unit. She kept her big heal. Any hero phase, that would be each. That would be each, and she finally gets a... Okay, this is a bunch of finally getting a, right? You finally got a ward, which is what they were asking for forever. You finally got a cast bonus for your triple caster god wizard. Finally got it, right? That's at least something. Metamorphosis, 2d3 mortal damage on the target. If it's destroyed, you get a tree song for free. Cool. And 2d3 is a lot of mortal damage, relatively speaking, because everything seems to be 1d3, right? No Talons of Withering or whatever those things were called. Rite of Life. Your movement phase. Pick a friendly Sylvaneth unit that has been destroyed. Oh, okay. On a 4-up, you get a new one at half the number of models. But it has to be near a Wildwood. Gross. And, well, I mean, that's not even bad, because you set it up near the Wildwood and then you teleport, right? If the target was a monster, allocate 8 damage to it. Oh, cool, you can do it to monsters. That's sick. That's fun. And of course she comes back to life, maybe. Which is sick. Yeah, alright. Never mind, she's gonna cost the same. Her points will not go down, actually. She will stay the same. Every turn she gets 4 up, return half. or a monster that allocates damage, or herself and a monster that allocates damage. Big. And then Living Battering Ram. Once per turn, army any charge phase. If this unit charged, pick an infantry. On a 3-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage equal to the roll. Yep, okay. Infantry only. Sag. She's cool. She's big. She's nice and fast for a unit with her base size is so huge that I agree this is the proper speed for her. Decent attacks, I suppose. Life Bloom is very good. Metamorphosis is good. Living Battering Ram, meh. Rite of Life is hilarious. 6-up ward, triple caster. Yeah, just this is good. This is fun. Does the monster get to make saves? No. Specifically doesn't. Ward rolls cannot be made for those damage points. And the armor save doesn't happen because allocate damage goes after armor saves anyway in the flowchart. Oh, Spirit of Durthu. Let's go. The anime sword. Oh, the first... Yo, his sword is no longer 6 damage. They took an inch from my guy. He's down to a 5 damage sword instead of a 6 damage sword. It's kind of sad. What's the harm? 14 health is a lot. 3-up save, 5 move, 5 control. Everything is... I think this is more health than he used to have, but everything else is the same. No longer brackets damage. True, he brackets attacks instead. Which is good. Just hero monster. Once per turn, army any combat phase. Titanic Duel. Pick an enemy monster on a 3-up, subtract 1 from attack characteristic that targets melee weapons for this turn. Okay. Wrathful Guardian. Add 1 to hit rolls for this unit's combat attacks while the target is within 3 of a wildwood. Simply don't be within 3 of a wildwood. Alright. Hey, okay. Crit Mortal on Massive Impaling Talons. These things feel cool, finally. This is not a bad attack profile either. Yeah, his old chart was real bad. Anti-monster Randall 1. There are so many subtract 1 from like hit rolls and attack characteristic things. I'm concerned. There's a lot of debuffs. And debuff stack on, I guess, attacks, alright, but how many of those are you gonna get? What do you guys think about Spirit of Durthu here? He's slow as fug, that's for sure. But he always was, and you're in Mr. Teleports, the army. Guy's kind of swinging. Not unique. Just feels kind of normal. Yeah, he used to bracket real bad. He doesn't get an extra D3 attacks for being close to a wildwood. Now he gets +1 to hit if your opponent is near the wildwood. But it doesn't matter if you are or not. So that's neat. Okay. Spite Ravenants. These goofy looking dudes. 2 5-up 5. 3 3 4 1. Ooh, crit mortal though. Okay, it saved it. A lot of attacks. They suck, but it doesn't matter. You're just looking for crits. You get what, 10 of these guys? 5? It could be 5 or 10 actually. Not sure what they'll choose. His D3 attacks was an artifact. +1 to the attack's characteristic for being near a wildwood or overgrown. I misremembered how many. Anyway, Spite Revs. Pick an enemy infantry unit in combat with this. On a 3-up, the target cannot use commands for the rest of the turn. Okay. I don't know, maybe you play a whole bunch of these and you just roll a million dice looking for mortals on your chaff. Depends on if Tree Revenants still have free teleport every move phase, right? If they do, probably not. If they don't, then it's time to reassess the situation, I guess, right? Spite Rida Lanza. 5 health, 12-inch flying, 4 up. Kind of nice. 3-man unit. Champion, musician, standard bearer. They got it all. This unit has coherency range of 2 inches. The privilege. But that's everything with wings, I think, that stick out from the base. They do it for the wings physically sticking out from the base almost as much as they do for whatever mechanic it would be. Charge +1 damage, charge +1 damage, anti-cavalry rend, companion. You got 6 attacks of models on damage 2. Okay. Hey, I'll take it. End of every turn, heal 3. Hey, I'll take it. Any combat phase, descent. If this charged, roll a die on a 3-up, strike first. Hey, I'll take it. Spite Rider Lancers are either going to cost 1,000,000 points or they're great. They're great. Yep. A whole bunch of attacks on 2 damage, 12-inch flying move, a bunch of health, okay armor, heal every single turn, strike first, big coherency. Hey, alright. These shock cavalry are thrumming with life. A word from the studio. Hey, Jimbo, what do you got to say about this one? Oh, Kurnoth Hunters, okay. It's a shame this is the edition where all the ranged attacks have to suck, because these guys have suffered forever, and I was kind of looking forward to them being good and having more than, like, 2 attacks a model. Health 5, move 5, save 4, control 2. Hey, 2, nice. Great bow, 18, so we're down from 24, or was it 30? 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, 1, 2. Well, at least they're not 4s and 3s. But, yeah. I guess in this edition, 18 is a long range, kind of, for shooting. And you're sort of tickling. Hey, you go 2 down. Well, it's contesting an objective. Friendly units contesting that objective also have a ward 6. Cool. This is cool. Okay. This is cool. I don't know what their real abilities are going to end up being, but the argument for Kurnoth Hunters in the past, even though they kind of blew, was that they could camp an objective and still technically affect the game, because their range was just super long. And they kind of blew, but they get to affect the game and they're camping an objective. Now they can camp and actually give a ward to something else, including themselves, which is kind of cool. Maybe that's kind of doubling down on their thing. Is you're contesting, and then you're just sort of a damage turret from contesting anywhere. And it gives you a little help. Cool. I don't know how meaningful their damage is going to be, but you're going to be rolling and stuff. It all comes to point. So how do I feel about Sylvaneth? Kurnoth Hunters, I don't know. These guys seem to be amazing and just have everything. And so there's going to be... something has to be wrong with them. Maybe it's their points cost eventually, or whatever. Being in a unit of 3. I don't know. They seem real good to me. Spite Rider Lancers. Versed Defler. Thanks for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. Thanks for liking my stuff. Even though I'm in migraine mode right now, in the dark, with no hat. But I wanted to get through this. So anyway, thanks for stopping by and sticking around. Spite revs may be good for playing a bunch of them and fishing for mortals. I don't know. They should be cheap though. Spirit of Durthu is alright. Enters Slaptown for sure. He's capable of it. But he's really slow, but you're the teleport army. I don't know. Figure it out. Allariel feels good. Allariel, cool. Like, A tier excited for Allariel, probably. Tree Song. I can't even pretend to be excited for placing a bunch of terrain all over the table and dealing with that bullshit. This sub-faction ability, F, see me after class. And then battle traits seem just a little... At the end of any turn, your entire army heals D3 if it's close to a wildwood. Okay. Strike and Fade is end of the turn, so you have a teleport out of combat, kinda, but at the end of the turn after you get hit. And then you have a teleport that's out of combat and in combat. I don't know. If you can turn terrain into an awakened wildwood somehow, everything is fixed. And the army is actually overpowered. If you can't and you have to place it only. If there's still the distinction between an overgrown thing and an awakened wildwood, then it doesn't seem fun at all to me. But Allariel's cool. Spirit of Durthu has a big sword. They're going to feel a lot different because you won't be able to just peace out before the enemy swings back. Yeah, you're going to have to actually take your beats. You're going to have to get hit. I was about to comment that they kept strike and fade, but they really didn't keep strike and fade. They called it strike and fade, but it's nothing at all like the ability you used to have. Your army is going to just play way different. It's like they kind of kept something that cares about moving and eating or whatever in ogres, but they didn't. Like, it's completely different and way worse. Anyway, what's my excitement level for Sylvaneth? Allariel is A tier exciting. The rest of the warscrolls are B tier exciting, probably. Your battle traits just being two different teleports is very boring. And probably even down here. Like, I'm disappointed that they couldn't think of anything cooler to do. You're still just putting terrain on the table in a game with more and more terrain starting on the table already. If you like that, you probably like that though, right? Let's see. Allariel and stuff are exciting, but so are some of the warscrolls here, and so are some of the warscrolls here. But their battle traits, they just kind of drop the ball on. This is gonna, yeah, I don't think I can get into the head of a Sylvaneth player, so I'm probably not gonna do a good job at this, right? I can get into the head of a lot of different player types, but I don't know if I can figure out how exciting it is, I guess. Because I just see a bunch of stuff that's not fun. You're just annoyed they didn't show us what wildwoods actually are, since the woods are your army rule? Yeah. I think, yeah, maybe it's meh. I don't think I'm mixed but sad. It's just like, yeah, that's kind of what I expected. You put crap on the table, and then all of your rules have you interacting only with that stuff. If you want to put stuff on the table and interact only with that stuff, then boy, have I got the army for you. We lost almost all of our faction flavor, and what we did keep got nerfed to the 6-inch subfaction no one took ever. Yeah, the Holy Within thing. Yeah, I think I'm actually ready to put them in E. The War Scrolls look good, but look, Slaanesh War Scrolls look good too. Half of them. Ironjaw's War Scrolls look good too. You know? But if it doesn't look fun, it doesn't look fun. Or if they lose too much, they lose too... I don't know. I think maybe meh here. I'm up to meh on Ironjaws. Losing, smashing, and bashing sucked, but you do a shitload of damage and all your shit's funny. I don't think you're up to mixed alright. I think you're below mixed but alright, because you're so slow for some of your other stuff. I think it's like this. Sylvaneth isn't as bad as... Geez, maybe it is. Hold on. Silver the same as Gits. Do I need to reevaluate some of these? Gits got nothing. Yeah, they did get nothing. And they could have made them have a fun battle trait, and they just decided not to. Sylvaneth army roll still doesn't benefit the opponent. It doesn't benefit the opponent, but the Slaanesh one won't either. They're just never going to choose two. They're only ever going to choose one. So it won't give anyone 12-inch charges, because you'll never choose two of them. Right? It's just, it's there as like a footnote in a book. By the way, you could choose two if you want to commit suicide, but everyone just chooses one. How's your hype level with 4th now that we have seen all the faction focuses? Quite a bit diminished now that we've seen all the rules, the core rules, and all the faction focuses. But you have to understand that I play this army. So my personal excitement for 4th edition was going to be largely dependent upon how fun my only army looked. And it happens to not look great. That being said, 4th edition as a whole, in general, is very exciting, and it looks great. And it looks like it's going to be cool. Yeah, the list is pretty top heavy, which is good. That's a good thing. You think the faction focuses were kind of a mistake? It was 5 weeks of GW going, look at all the cool stuff, and you all collectively went, where did everything go? Yeah. But, you know, they wanted a simplified, smoothed out, easier to balance, streamlined game where the games take less time to play, right? And what you have to lose there is, you know, the rough edges. For good and bad. A lot of the rough edges they got rid of, good, you know? It's just your rough edge that you thought was almost fun but needed one more iteration pass or something. They just threw it away instead of fixed it, right? Which is always frustrating from a player point of view. Were you watching Perfect Blue and writing Rift stuff before the stream? Yeah, of course. I'm preparing for my Rift streams. Starting, I think, I don't know. I'll say when, but it's one of these coming Thursdays. Perfect Blue is the most recent rewatch of like a million 80s and early 90s animation that I went through while collecting footage for the Rift's intro, and just kind of because I felt like it. Spriggan, Akira, Vampire Hunter D, Wicked City, Demon City, Record of Lotus War, Perfect Blue, as you just saw there. What is it called? Crisis Suit Maddox, something like that. Pat Labor. Just a whole bunch. Just a whole bunch of old ass, kind of bad, good, bad, grindhouse sort of 80s anime. Bubblegum Crisis as well. Even shit that actually sucked and that I hadn't seen before. Like, what is it? Millennium Zero or something like that? I heard that it was really bad and I watched it. It was much worse than I thought it was going to be. We're missing so much of the picture. We only have seen 4 war scrolls per army. Yep, and that is a problem of their own design. They decided to do that and show us only 4, and so this is all we have to work with. And so some of them are cool and some of them are not so far. Hopefully design team are more aggressive in punching up underwhelming faction rules. Yeah, we'll see. You hope that they are willing to be more hands-on with balancing. Yeah, we'll see. You get asked why is 4-inch speed such a problem for brutes, but armies like Fire Slayers and Nurgle look good, because everything's slow in those armies, for the most part. So you have no choice. In Fire Slayers, literally everything is 4-inch move, except for your, like, hero guy on mount. And so you just have to deal with it. And you have a Rune Blazer to full army get a little fast one time, right? For Ironjaws, you're like, I could choose the 4-inch move guy or one of the 4, like, 10-inch move guys and cavalry. And so it's like, yeah, okay. I just won't then. It's kind of like why no one plays Thralls ever in IDK. Do I want the 6-inch move guys with 5 up save? Or do I want the 14 flying cavalry? Or the 12-inch flying cavalry? Or the other 14 flying cavalry? Or the 10 flying turtle cavalry? It's like, why would I want the slowest, shittiest guy, you know? Because they're wearing like 1,000 pounds of armor? Yeah, everybody's got a 3-up save, it seems like. Maybe a 4 here or there. I mean, historically it's been because you don't, but hopefully there's a reason to in this one, and we just haven't been shown it. We'll see. Do you drop the ball in Ogre rules that hard? Don't know. They only ever have, though, kinda. Overwhelming Charge was really cool. We got to play with that one for an edition before they took it. Yeah, capture stuff was cool, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to complain about ogres all the time. It was just very disappointing, and I'm not sure what the rest of it is going to look like. Hopefully it's fun. Flosh and Flot still have yet to be revealed. Yeah. This seems like the edition where all the ranged units are getting nerfed a lot. Like, ranged, they're reining it in. Most of the ranged war scrolls are looking diminished. Even in the Chosen One armies, you know. The people who never get nerfed, right? Even in those armies, the ranged units are getting reined in a little bit. And so I do not... I think Thundertusk is gonna be real bad still. Yeah, except Skaven. But in Skaven they have, shall we say, limiters, as in they will blow up after 2 shots, which is fun for all, actually, and I think it's a fine balancing point. I think that's fine. What are the first battle tomes? Stormcast and Skaven. Yes, yeah, because those are the launch things. We have few guarantees in life, but one of them is Thundertusk will be garbage. Probably, yeah. Then again, every army has one of those units, right? We are not unique in being worse than before in a bunch of ways, worse than everybody else in a bunch of ways. Thing changed, thing taken away, unit that's always been bad and still is bad. Everybody's got stuff like that, you know? No big deal. If we lose a fair fight, you just steal your wins. You suspect Ogres will get a late tome and a refresh? Hope so. By the way those rules read, that read to me like we're the next BOC for 2 or 3 years from now. We're either the next BOC or we're the next Seraphon refresh. Which is a weird place to be, I think. An army that's like a 3rd Finecast and only just stuff from Warhammer Fantasy that hasn't much expanded on the style and theme. And so I really could go either way. I hope it sticks around because I like Ogres. Or the next BOC is a bit dramatic. Yeah, I have heard more dramatic, and every time somebody says that, I'm like, chill. So I say that now. They've confirmed that indexes will be dropping before Skaventide. No release date. Alright, no problem. Alright, I have to immediately go to bed, so this migraine goes away. I appreciate everyone sticking around, though. TYVM. If I missed anything, I'll get to it Monday, I guess. What position would you rather be in? It's Ogres, go big or go old world? Do you mean like if they get moved to old world? I don't really think that's going to happen, by the way. But I suppose it could. Anything could happen. I wouldn't go to old world. I'm not interested in that game. No hate. I'm just not interested in it. So if, let's say Ogres are banned, you know, and you can't play them in AOS, you have to play them in old world, I would just find a new army. I got plenty of great memories and everything out of Ogres in AOS. I had a blast. I easily got my money's worth. And playing the same army for like 7.5 years. Shit's been great. If the police showed up and they're like, we're confiscating all Ogres, it's now illegal in America. Alright. I had my fun. It was nice. I'll do something else. More than made up for it. But that's a slightly unlikely scenario. Mostly because I have a lot of locks on my door. And the last time the police showed up, I accidentally intimidated them with my hermit nature. And they apologized for the noise, which was nice of them. Good interaction overall. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys Monday. Thanks for the subs and the bits and the primes. Hey, alright.